Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, mi gente? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Speak Easy with Idylli show. I'm so excited tonight. I know I'm always excited, but listen, for real, y'all, we about to have a conversation, okay? And some people, may like it, some people may not, but here's the thing you guys know about what we do here. We keep it real. We're going to be transparent and we're going to talk about some body things that a lot of us go through, right? And a lot of us suffer through. And so I'm really excited to be bringing you guys that tonight. But before we do, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for always coming on. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares. They don't go unnoticed, mi gente. They're truly appreciated. If I ever miss one, I apologize because I try to reply to everybody, but it gets a lot, right? But at the end of the day, I'm so thankful for all of you guys because this show, the Speakeasy with Idylli show, where I'm able to, really just come with some real issues or having fun sometimes, or some cooking shows, or showing and empowering women on their businesses and their talents. It would not happen without you all watching. So I thank you for just being here, coming on, commenting, liking, and sharing. Hey, Primo, I see you on. Welcome. Hey, Nikki girl, miss you. I know I miss you too, Nikki. Hi, Maritza. Hi, my love. I hope you're having a great week. Thank you so much for joining. I see you guys here on Instagram as well. Tony, Fran, Rosie, I see you guys. Let's grow. Thank you so much for being on. I'm so excited. And I'm really excited to bring on my guest today. And so she is just an amazing powerhouse who has her own story. She's an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur with multiple businesses. She's been on her own for a really long time. She's a wife. She's a mother of two amazing children, even though she probably doesn't feel like they are all the time, because I know I don't about mine. So maybe it's just me. But she is an amazing mom to two amazing children. And I'm just super thankful that she's coming on here to share her story and her portion on how she can help with body positivity information. Okay. And she says that she's a body positivity influencer. It says that on her social media, and the impact that brings is so huge. And so I'm just, again, really thankful that she's on here. So Mrs. Josephs, are you on? Let me see. Add to the stage. Did you make it? I think you're muted. Let me unmute you.
I made it.
Yay! Hello. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for asking. It's really nice to have you. Thank you so much for your time and coming on here.
Thank you for letting me on. Oh my God, this is amazing. I'm so excited to be on your show.
Oh, of course. Hey, Sandra, I see you, Sandra. Thank you so much for joining. Well, thank you guys so much. Don't hesitate to share this with a friend, to add some comments if you need. We're gonna get a little deep. We're gonna start from the beginning, but then we're gonna go into the main topic in a little bit. And if you ever getting value from this, put value in the chat. If you're watching later on the replay, hey, my replay people, right? We love y'all still too, and we do appreciate you coming back and watching. So let us know if you're watching on the replay or if you're watching live. But start from the beginning. Like, what is, where are you from? Like, where did you grow up? Things like that.
All right. So I am from Rochester, New York. I grew up there. I was raised there. I actually, my story starts off when I was 14. I ran away from home. I lived with my mom, my stepdad, and 3 of my sisters. And it just was, for me, a toxic situation. So I decided to leave. Living in Rochester, living in the streets, I was in and out of group homes. I ended up going to foster care because my mom ended up moving to Florida, and I became ward of the state because of the fact that she never told anybody where she went, or at least that's what I was told. And they didn't find her till I was 17. So that's when they gave me the choice. I was either move here to Florida with my mom or go to independent living. And my plan was always to go to independent living, but she asked me to moved to Florida. So that's how I ended up in Florida.
Wow. Okay, so you
Yeah.
came, you were 17?
Yep. I was
Okay.
17 in Florida. Yep.
And do you feel now, even, you know, even though you had your own plan, do you feel now that that was like the best decision was coming here?
At first, it wasn't. At first, I did not feel like that. But now that I've
Mm,
met my husband and, the life I live now, it's just like now I see why I made that choice. It's like if I
wow.
didn't come this way, I would not have the stuff I have now. The
You
people.
know what? That's so crazy. We have a similar story, except that as far as like being moved out of our, you know, area, when my mom moved us here from Chicago, I hated her for it, right? I was so mad because I didn't want to leave, but she did it to save my life. And I know that now, right? She did save my life, literally. Like she saved, you guys know my story when you hear it out there. And so it is at first you're just living because you had your own plans. But like you said, now that you're living the life you live now, it's like, okay, this was always meant to be, right? That was the alignment was for you to come here, settle, go through your things, figure it out, and then be able to live your life. So I'm glad that, you know, that happened for you. What have you always done for like a career, like where you worked before?
So before becoming an entrepreneur, I worked fast food. And I was really good at it. And I worked at Burger King, I worked at Checkers, and I've always became manager. Like I always went to the top. But yeah, that was the main thing. My last job was Walmart though. I worked overnight for Walmart while going to school during the day for CNA.
Okay, okay, I love that. And so I do like I started in fast food too, girl. I worked at Hardee's, I worked at Domino's Pizza for like 4 years. I
Yeah.
did a little shift leader thing there. Like, yeah, so I feel you, okay? I feel
I'm
you.
just coming home smelling like pizza. It was just
Yeah, my family loved it though because
that's
I
what
was I was always bringing pizza home. They already knew what time it was. Don't worry, Diddy's bringing dinner. Domino's
yeah.
Pizza.
Yep.
So I did that, you know, for many years before and moved into the medical field. That's so like I promise you guys, we didn't know this. So like I didn't know that I know her entrepreneur life and her business, but I did not know that, you know, we have such similar backgrounds. And so, okay, so you got your CNA license, and then did you ever apply that? Did you work for
I
CNA?
did. I went in for a rehab facility. That was my first job. And I had, since I was a little girl in my head, I wanted some type of business of my own. Before I've thought of, designing my own clothes when I was a little girl. I've thought of, doing hair because I used to like braiding and stuff. I've thought of all of that, but I don't know why I guess it was because of my mom. She used to be a nurse, is why I wanted to go into the medical field because I love helping people. So becoming a CNA and being able to apply that, it was awesome. But what hurt me doing it though was watching how the nurses and the other CNAs would treat the people there.
Mhm.
You being in the medical field, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So that really broke my heart. And honestly, because of another situation, me and my husband, we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. He pissed me off. I quit my job one day. Yeah. He pissed me off, and I was like, you know what? They were like, "You're gonna go over here," and I'm like, "Excuse me, no, I'm not. I'm out. Bye." Like, I just did that.
Wow.
And but when I did that, I went home and I was like, "Oh shit, what am I gonna do now?" Like,
Right.
I have a penny to my name, and I'm like, and I knew I didn't want to go back to working in a rehab facility, so
Mm.
I went ahead and I just started going on care.com and stuff like that and becoming a contractor for private care homes. And that's how I ended up starting my A&J Senior Private Care back in 2016.
Wow, I love that. And you know, this is for all my inspiring entrepreneurs, or maybe you thinking about it, or you've always thought of, like she said, she's been thinking of like, hey, how to do this, how to do that, how to do this. It's always been in the back of her mind. So to be able to be put in a position where you have a choice, right? Like you either gonna go all in or you're just gonna go back to the land, you know, that you weren't unhappy with, right? And sometimes the fear of the unknown, were you afraid, like, or you were just like got it together, right? Were you afraid?
I was afraid every minute. My husband, he was working for Amazon at the time. We were living in two different places. Like I said, I didn't have a penny in my name. He was struggling. So it was like I'm calling my landlord like, listen, I don't have my rent this month, but I have a new client. Hopefully they pay me when I'm done. I'm brand new, so I don't know nothing about contracts. I don't know nothing about
Right.
none of that. So, but I just kept praying. My husband, he was a great support. He did everything he could to help, and we bumped heads a few times, yeah, because he had bills, I had bills, and it was just like, I don't know what we're gonna do. But he also wanted to be an entrepreneur too, so that's why he still supported me. He was like, listen, I'm pushing you to do what it is that you want to do,
Right.
and it does not matter if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you're working a 9 to 5, go ahead, get that LLC, do the trademark, do all that, and just start part-time. If you're scared to just quit your job, that's fine. There's other ways to do it. You don't have to go full-time like me.
Right. Right. Or
But
me.
don't be scared don't be scared to start that business though.
Right. And that's the thing about it. Like I talked about this the other day, it's about having courage, right? And that's actually one of my C's and my values at the SpeakEasy. The first one is courage because it's having the courage. But what people have to understand is like courage is not the absence of fear, right? It's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Right. That's like our number one thing that I teach my son. Like when he's ready to jump off of like anything, because he's a boy, so he's always trying to go high somewhere and jump. And he's like, Mommy, I'm scared. I'm like, well, what do? We feel the fear. And he's like, and do it anyway, and jumps on the way down. Right. He screams it on the way down because it's so important to understand. So you touched on such a good point. Like you were fearful, like you had your job on, like your bills on the line, your kids need to eat and everything like that. But there was something that was telling you, go for it, like that you're ready, like keep going. And you answered that call. That's the difference. I think a lot of us have that, but we don't answer that call, And so you became an entrepreneur, you and your husband are entrepreneurs. Do you still do the CNA business at all?
The home health, no, because of COVID, we ended up closing that down. Yeah.
That makes sense. Sense. Okay.
But,
and then you guys ended up opening a tobacco company, which you do together.
Yes. One door closed, another door opened. We opened that in the middle of COVID. There was the bigger brand, Grab a Leaf, that everybody, but nobody could find that at that time. So me and my husband, we're going through a transition. We're like, okay, here we go again. We ain't got no money. Savings is going down. We got 2 cars. We can't afford the car notes. What are we going to do? He comes to me. He's like, babe, I'm going to go get a job. And I'm like, sir, you get a job? No. Right. I was like, right. You've been an entrepreneur for 5 years already. Like, this is not going to work. So I told him, I still have my CNA license. Let me go back. I did the traveling nursing. And I said, you find what makes you happy. You supported me with A&J, so I'm going to support you now. So I did. I found a contract. I went to, Jacksonville. I took my family to North Dakota for 2 months.
And that's right, because that's when the COVID was going on. So all that travel nursing was big. It was huge. Like people were getting paid and, you just move your family. Like that's what was happening at the time. That makes total sense.
Exactly. We gave up the apartment and we're like, no sense to pay rent. Let's just go stack this money. Yes. And while we were doing that, he started researching and building Ducky's Frontal Leaf.
Nice. And then, okay, so you guys got that and that's growing, that's building on its own. You guys doing it together. And then you have a t-shirt business, which is something that you're wearing right now.
Yes. Queen Ducky. It's on our website. We have the Queen Ducky shirts. We have jackets. We have book bags on ducky.com, queenducky.com, and duckysfrontalleaf.com. Yep.
Love that. Okay. And so do the shirts come in all sizes? Because I want to say something. I noticed a little something about your pictures from before to just now. And I was like, wait a minute. I understand now why you are in the business that you are growing and doing this part of the body positivity, because you recently had some body changes, right?
Yes. I weighed 330 pounds was my biggest weight. I am now 200 pounds. So yeah, I lost 130 pounds and I feel great. I'm happy I did it. It was a journey. It was a struggle, and I did it though. And I'm still.
I need to go back though, real quick. So you were 300 pounds. Were you always a chunky baby? Like, or it's just something that happened in life and you gained a lot of weight?
So no, I wasn't always. When I was little, mommy used to call me culi seca. Like I was
Flaca.
skinny as a pole, like But when I got older, I started getting thicker. But then,
Mm.
when I met my husband, I was around like 230, 240 when I met him. But after that, it was done. My weight, it was like no matter what, my doctors put me on pills. I would lose 5 pounds, but then gain 20 pounds. It was just, I
Mm.
don't know what was going on with my body. I just would work out. I would try to eat right. And I'm looking at my husband like, you're over there eating a burger and not gaining a pound.
Girl,
know?
girl, that's a
But
whole nother life. Okay, my husband's the same way. Okay, now he's just starting to get that little peep out where he's like, "Oh, I got the dad bod where I'm getting my
yeah.
stomach." I'm like, "Bro, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, don't even try it. He can
Right.
eat whatever he wants." And that's just a big thing about us and women and being, body positive because it is harder, and there is some genes that take a big play that we don't realize that, right? There's some things that our hormones, all these things that we have going on, not to scare any men that are watching, not to scare you guys off, but it's so true, right? It's so true. And so here you are struggling with this weight, trying to lose weight, trying to figure it out. Was all this during the time where you were like building your business?
Yes. So we were building Ducky's Frontal Leaf, and I was also in modeling as well. So even then, I was like, I would still put the bikini on at 330 pounds. I would still be beautiful. Like I look at my pictures back then now, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know like that's how I was looking. I
Right,
didn't realize I was that big when I was that big. But
right.
I still
Wow.
felt sexy. I still felt beautiful. And it's just but the difference I could tell now from back then. Now I want to go outside. I want to go have fun. Back then, I just wanted to stay home and do Netflix and chill. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I didn't let my weight stop me because, like you said, I have 2 kids. Me and my husband were supporting them, and we had a business that we were trying to accomplish, and that was always the goal. Is we gotta keep moving forward.
Right, right. And so I love that you said that you wore a bikini at 330 pounds. Girl, you are brave because let me tell you, everybody knows I've recently lost, 60, 65 now because I can say 65 because I got to 215. But I've lost 65 pounds in the last few years and then literally like another 10 in the last just short amount of time. But I couldn't, like, I still wear cover up, at the beach and stuff like that. Like, even in my back pool, like, my husband's like, bro, this is our house. Like, you're in
Right.
the pool in the back, right? Because I had to really, accept myself and grow on some things and learn on some things. And so, I'm glad that you said that because that's the thing with body positivity. It's not that we're saying, because you worked on yourself, right? You got better. You said you have 2 kids. You want to live, right? You want to be healthy. You want to be outside,
Exactly.
enjoy the time with them. And you knew at 330 pounds, you're not going to be able to do that. It's
No,
hard. It's
exactly.
hard.
They want to go
And
out.
so,
I was like, no.
ex- exactly. And making that transition, but loving yourself during the process. That's the biggest thing. It it's hard to say how did you do that because like you said you didn't even realize that's how you looked because you loved yourself inside. That's so powerful. I want you guys to understand and really, if you know somebody who's struggling with their weight or who doesn't love themselves or who won't buy the outfit or won't go nowhere because they don't have nothing to wear that fits them properly, share this information with them and let them know, like, share this live here and this replay, and so they can see that there is a way to love yourself no matter what weight you are in, right? It starts from the inside, and that is a really big deal, and I'm so thankful that you shared that. So you say you weigh 200 pounds now?
Yes.
Girl, I don't know where. It must be all in the booty because I don't even see that.
Listen, I got I got the skins. So
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, I can see that. I can. Okay, now that makes more sense because I'm like, you do not even look like you would. Because I just recently seen her in a full body outfit at an event that we ran into each other, and so that's how someone says awesome, beautiful. A lot of people are saying good. That's amazing for you. Let me go to the comments. I'm so sorry. Let me go to the comments real quick. Ketty is saying, oh wow, nice. Congratulations for the weight loss.
thank you.
Darren is saying, let's go, Icon. He always gets value when he comes on the show. Hey, Marisol, I see her. Nikki also said earlier, we never know why we go through things until we learn the lesson. And
Exactly.
that is so true. Like, That could not be so true, so any more truer. And Michaela says, I'm proud of you guys, right? Thank you, Michaela. We appreciate you and Tony and everybody for coming on here and just really showing love, because at the end of the day, it is about having the value come out for people to understand that you can love yourself through that, right? And so we've watched those shows, those 600-pound shows where people struggle. And I know you weren't at 600 pounds, but
Right.
even at 330, was it harder for you to get out of bed? Was it hard for you to put your shoes on?
Listen, I'm gonna laugh about it now because my husband would always do this joke about how I would get up, and he would be like, "Babe, you used to go like this." And it's like, damn, you're right. I did used to do that.
You had to wind yourself up, right, to get
Right,
up.
right. So yeah, it would be a struggle to it would be a struggle to put a sock on, and
Mm,
but then I right then and there, that to me it was like nothing. To me it was like regular everyday thing. But
right.
now that I could stand up, put my leg up, and put a sock on, I'm like, hey, I could do this.
Right, right, right. And I asked that because that was one of my struggles, and that was one of my eye openers. Besides my son telling me at a game that he felt bad for me running because I didn't look like the other moms. That's a whole nother story.
I can't
But
run.
besides that, I couldn't even put my own sandals on. Like I couldn't buckle them, right? I couldn't breathe bending down, and I had to ask my kids for help. And I'm like, bro, this can't be, like, we can't do that. And so that's what I want to talk about with the body transitioning, how important it is to love yourself. Like you said, you wore a bikini at 330 pounds, right? But you loved yourself and your kids and your family enough to know that you weren't going to live a long time if you were that way, that
Exactly.
that way. Do you
Mhm.
think?
Exactly. It was that. It was like, because I didn't have um any medical issues, but I know if I would have stayed there, I would have ended up with, a heart problem or something like that. And on top of that, me and my husband, we've been trying to have a child of our own.
Mm,
Um, and the doctors just kept saying, "Oh, it should wait, it should wait, it should wait, it should wait." And I'm like, well, if that is it, then let's see, let's
okay.
this way and see if you're correct. Because if you're not, then
I'm coming
you're
back for you.
calling me back for no reason.
I'm coming back for you. But
Right.
and it very well could be. So I'm praying, if you guys are still doing that, I definitely pray right now and declare it that that door opens for you guys, and that you guys will be amazing parents, and that you get that news soon. And I believe in faith. I believe in the power, of his and asking, right? And you shall receive, believing, and it shall be yours. And so I'm believing that for you and your husband, that next time you'll be on here talking about, I'm pregnant. And so congratulations. Yeah, Tony says the same thing. Prayers for y'all. Prayers for y'all. Thank you. We accept and we receive those prayers. Thank you so much. And again, you guys, if you're watching live or later on my replay, people, make sure you let me know that you're watching it on the replay. Comment if you're getting value. Share this with somebody else. And just thank you for taking the time out to listen to this amazing story. And so now I like the fact that you mentioned the skin, right? Because that's another thing that you have to stay body positive for, because some people don't, and they wear big clothes, or they'll cover up, or they'll let that hold them back. How do you handle that?
So, Nana, I'm gonna be real honest with all of you guys. 330 pounds was nothing to me. I was beautiful. You know what I mean? I was confident.
You are.
200 pounds with all this skin, I'm like, I catch myself. I'll look at myself in my mirror and I'm like, this is not me. What happened to that girl? I'm like, I don't know. But then I'm like, no, 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 you're beautiful. Come on, you gotta keep going. Just go to the gym. That's gonna you're gonna get your face back. Or I'll be like at Starbucks because I love, I go to school as well, so I go study at Starbucks, and I'll see that I got my arm a certain way and my skin is like hanging, and then I'll start grabbing it to hide it, and I'm like, nah, don't do that. Like, love yourself. So I feel it's more harder now,
And it
to
was.
reminding myself like you're still beautiful. All right, just keep going. You're gonna get there. So it is, it's a journey. So
It is. And that's a daily thing that you have to do. And I'm proud of you for doing that and working on it and saying no, because you're right. Like, we literally look at it and we're like, oh no, like, yes. Oh my goodness. You don't know how many people like you're helping out there. This is a real thing.
It
It's
is.
people get in depression mode. Women, try to take their life. Like, this is serious. This is, if you ever are in that and you're watching this, or if you're hearing my voice for whatever reason, there are resources. You can comment, you can DM anybody who's on here. You can DM either one of us if you are that emotionally depressed and you need help. There's definitely 1-800 numbers that you can go to. I said that, so I need to make sure that I make that disclaimer, but it is just a real thing. So I'm glad that you were able to share that you really, struggle with that. But you do look beautiful. Like, you're beautiful. Like, you do, you're naturally pretty already, right? So you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that.
Right.
No offense to anybody. I'm not saying that people are not pretty, but you know what I mean. You have beautiful features and you're naturally pretty. And so, that's really powerful that you still struggle with that and you're working on it. Like you
Yeah.
said, though,
That-
every
Is that
day is the work, right? And you're not giving up. And Tony says, my friend is going through this. He was 330, now 220. And he discovered it natural, hard, consistent work and a therapist. But the journey has been amazing ups and downs with good people on your team cheering you on. Wow, wow. Yes, it truly helps. And that's
congratulations to
true.
your friend.
And yeah, yeah. Thank you for saying that. Congratulations to your friend. Let him know that we're out here talking about him and we're proud of him. Because here's the thing: we want to live. How many people remember Big Pun? Right? You remember Big Pun? Remember that song? He said, "I just lost 100 pounds. I want to live." Right? But it still
Uh,
wasn't enough because he was so big that it still wasn't enough, and he
yeah.
passed. Right? Remember that? He passed away, and he made that song right before he passed. I just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live, and I think of that dumb lyrics play in my head, right? Because again, he didn't make it because he didn't get to that point, of losing. He needed to lose more faster. But at the end of the day, it's just so important for us to merely just love ourselves exactly the way we are. Our arms, you're making me want to go take off my faja, girl, because I,
Take it off, girl.
I did a story. No, and I say it because I did a story, right? And I did earlier about body positivity and just loving myself in this dress. I said, I'm gonna put on my faja so you guys can see the difference. And I'm gonna do a video later on it. But I kept it on, but now I'm like, rip that thing right here live on to everybody. Let me read one more comment. I know I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I've always been really skinny and it's always been really hard to eat and gain weight, but I struggle with some of the same thing. I won't wear certain clothes because of it. I always feel the need to pose and use different angles to have more curves, but I started to realize a man shouldn't only want me because of my body.
Exactly.
Girl, that is so powerful. Michaela, thank you so much for sharing that because you brought up a great point. It's not only big people that have body positive images. I worked for an OBGYN and I did a lot of weight loss. They had a weight loss clinic and I would see the patients. When one of the girls that was on maternity leave, they put me there for the 6 weeks. And some of the ladies, they looked amazing. Like literally, they were skinny. Like you would think, why are they coming here? But when they sat in my chair, there was just that little bit that they couldn't get rid of, or this little thing here that they felt uncomfortable with, right?
Yeah.
And then in Michaela's case, always been really skinny, tried to gain weight, trying to move around so that people would think she was curvy, right? So men wouldn't see this. But it's about loving yourself from the inside out. And it's not easy, mi gente, because we've been through some things. Everybody has, right? So we live beat up inside from the things that we've been through. Then we can't love ourselves. And then on top of that, our body's not matching our energy. And it becomes such a hot mess.
And then, if you're not loving yourself the way you need to love yourself, then how do you expect that guy that you're looking for to love you the way you're supposed to be loved? I feel like I've been through a lot of toxic relationships and I let myself be in those because I was not loving myself the way I was supposed to, So to her, girl, don't worry about the men. Love yourself. Go do some self-care, look yourself in the mirror, get butt naked, just look at yourself and tell yourself how beautiful you are inside and out. And I'm telling you, do that every day, you're going to start believing yourself because you are beautiful. All right. And then eventually that guy that you're looking for, he's going to come and he's going to be like, damn, girl, you thick as hell. And you ain't gain a pound. All right. So don't worry about it. Just love yourself.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for giving that advice. That is really good and powerful. Listen, you guys, she said to love yourself anyway. And I love that you said looking in the mirror naked because I had to do that. I had to get to the root. And I had to understand because I haven't always been this big. And I had to understand that my body is not matching my energy. And it's just, it becomes such a hot mess. I haven't always been this big. You're welcome so much. She said, thank you for the encouraging words. You're welcome. If you ever need a conversation or anything, please don't hesitate to reach either one of us. Okay. We'll be more than happy to help on the side. But I had the same issues because I haven't always been a big girl, right? For my pregnancies, I gained weight, but then I lost them when I was early in my 20s. But then when I had my last son, I gained over 100 pounds and I never lost it. Right. So eventually I couldn't say, oh, I just had a baby anymore. Right. Because he's 8 and I'm still overweight. You know what I mean? So that thing went out the window like after the first year, right? That, oh, I just had a baby, right?
Yeah.
And then I ended up gaining more weight instead of losing. I ended up getting more weight. Like I look at pictures from when I had them and then pictures as I went throughout, and I'm like, and here's the thing, nobody was saying anything because people are just trying to spare your feelings. So they're not saying, Idylli, this is unhealthy. This is not good for you. You know, you can't be this big. You know, they're encouraging me every time I try to lose weight. I'm not saying that they were just enabling me, but no one was really sitting down until somebody said, girl, you know, they told me, they were like, listen, have you ever seen an 80-year-old obese person?
80-year-old?
Yeah, an 80. Have you ever heard or seen, right? Rarely. If they are out there, I'm not saying they're not, because I can't say yes or no completely. I don't know everything. But it's rare that you will see an 80-year-old obese person. Imagine an 80-year-old weighing 330 pounds, right? Or 265, 275 pounds where I was. And he said to me, no, it's because they don't make it, right? They don't make it to that age. And if you want to live to see your grandbabies and your kids and growing up, you got to do something, right? And that's when I really realized that first I had to start loving myself because I was overeating and doing all these stuff because of what was going on inside. And I, was not consistent in that. And so I had to go naked. That was the whole point of this, that when you said getting naked, I had to literally get naked in front of the mirror and love each part and even jiggle it and shake it like, yo, this is what it is. Like you have 3 kids. Like if you lift up what they call them, the fupa. Yeah, I told y'all we were getting deep and transparent up in here. Okay, there's this girl on TikTok who's always talking about I lift my fupa and smack it. Yeah, I'm not doing all that, but I did, and she's really actually going viral talking about her fupa, right? But I did literally have to, just look at it and say, I love you exactly the way you are. Like, I love you. Your body's been through some things, girl, just the same way your heart and your mind is. And I really love you just the way you are. And then, started transitioning into getting healthy. Because like we said, we're not sitting here saying, go ahead and veg out on the couch and do whatever you want. Don't get healthy, right? Love yourself how you are, but make room to get better. So what does that look like for you on a daily? Like, what is that? Do you exercise all the time? Do you do 3 or 4 times a week? Like what does that look like for you?
So my number one enemy is being consistent with things. So I work out, but I'm not working out every day like I used to, so I'll catch myself, but I watch what I eat, I have protein shakes in the morning. I always have like fruits for breakfast. Kids hate me for that. My signature breakfast. If I gotta eat fruits, you gotta eat fruits too.
Right. That's good for them.
Yeah, and we don't eat fried food. Like if we do, it's once in a blue moon. Red meat, it's very rare in this house. And I just watch what I eat. Sometimes, I'm Spanish and Jamaican, so there's a lot of rice and peas and rice and beans in this house. But I'll probably be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna make y'all some rice and beans and go have a salad, But what also helps me is my husband. He has the dad bod, so he's been going to the gym too, and he'll be like, hey, let's go together. It's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yes,
I don't
right?
have a trainer, I ain't going.
I love that. No, that's so true. I love that, and being able to encourage and help each other. And it's funny that you say about, the rice, because that's the same thing here, girl. Excuse me. I posted that the other day and somebody was like, are you crazy? You make rice every day? Every day. Like I literally, my husband, if he didn't eat rice, he's bien boricua. He didn't eat enough dinner. And then my son is like literally following right along, talking about he didn't eat dinner. He had a whole meal. I didn't have no rice, so he didn't eat dinner because he didn't have no rice. Like,
right? Yeah, no. Oh my goodness, I try to give my kids just chicken with no rice. They'll be like, chicken by itself?
Right. Exactly. And so we definitely try to break those habits, but we start with us, right? We start with us, and then later on we'll grow into less rice, maybe less portion. I did start giving him less portions, like, because my son's a big guy too. My dad was big. My dad was 300 pounds and 6'3". Like, he was over 300 pounds, 6'3". You know what I mean? So he was a big guy. My son is the same way. He's a big kid, but there's a way to control that now. So that's why I'm glad that you give your kids the fruits, right? Love yourself how you are, but let's be better, right?
Exactly.
Because let me tell you, my kids, even my little one, struggles with his beepa. He has beepa and he sucks it in. And one time we were even doing a live on pizza, and he's like, "Oh, I'm live." And I literally had to have a conversation with him. I'm like, "Papa, we're not doing that. Like, no, you love yourself exactly how you are. You have baby fat. Your brother and your sister look just like you when they were their age. And guess what? They don't look like that anymore. So we're going to make sure that you are going to be a healthier version of yourself. Even if you did, you love yourself exactly the way." Like, we had to have that whole conversation because I couldn't believe he sucked it in because we were on stories making pizza, right?
No, that yeah, 8 years old to be self-conscious like that. I mean,
Exactly. And that's why it's so important that we spread this love and this message of body positivity and just loving yourself, and so you're a part of a community who does that, right?
yes, the Pretty Palace. We are actually an organization where whatever it is that you want to do, whatever, entrepreneur, modeling, acting, whatever it is, we are a sisterhood. Um, we are based out of Orlando. So if you want a bestie, if you want advice on how to do plus size modeling or any type of modeling, if you know, or if you want to start a business or you have a business but you want like-minded people, the Pretty Palace is where it's at. We do events. We do fundraisers. I remember we did this one where we did like a contest and we helped a young girl. We bought her a dress, did her makeup, her hair for prom. And it
Mm.
was, we have a lady in our group that does nails. We have a lady in our group that does hair. We have a lady that does makeup. And we even had a lady that helps people start their businesses in coaching and stuff like that. So
Mm.
we try to give back to the community as much as possible, and just let people know, like, we're here. There's a lot of women out there, they'll try to tear you down instead of uplifting you, and I don't think that's right. I know where I'm going, and if that's where you want to go, come on, let's go. But if you don't want to go there, then that's all right, boo boo. You stay right there. But I'm not gonna hate you for it. That's your choice. But
Right.
if you need help, if you want to start a business, if you don't know how to build a business plan, or if you feel down about your body or whatever, I'm always open to talk to somebody, and help you out the best way that I can.
Right. And I love that. And that's whether you're skinny, we're talking, we're just talking our experiences as far as that's why I'm glad Michaela shared that, because as far as our experiences with being big, but if you're skinny and you're having body positivity issues too, please don't hesitate to reach out because, there's ways to get help with that too, and so we just want to it's all about loving yourself first. That's from the very beginning. And I love how you say women will tear you down. And I feel like a lot of that's changing now. I think our generation has like changed that a little bit, but the young girls, bro, they got no filter and
No.
they don't care. They will call you out in a heartbeat and they will bully you. Like, my daughter went through some things and I'm just like, and she's beautiful, right? And it's not just because she's my daughter, she just really is,
Yeah.
right? And so it's really just, having these young girls and realizing that, to love yourself the way you are, and just because you don't have a BBL doesn't mean that.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's harder for them because that's what they see. They see that, you got to go get some type of plastic surgery to be beautiful. You got to have the fake boobs and the fake booty and no fumpa. No, you don't need all that to feel beautiful, and
Mm,
that's like, I don't
right,
care what my body look like,
right.
I'm gonna be me. And
Exactly.
I'm gonna make sure I'm on Instagram. You see, bikini, lingerie. I don't care. Flabby skin and all that. I'm showing it all off. And I just hope that even if I reach one person, whether they're skinny, curvy, or BBW, that they see and they're like, "Oh my God, if she could do it, I can do it too." That's
Mm,
what I do it for. So
Well, let me go to Instagram real quick because their comments are a little bit different, but I have people on here saying Anthony is saying value loving yourself from the inside out, mind, body, and spirit and soul. Yes, Anthony, thank you so much for sharing that. I also have Mitch Race saying this is valuable. And so are you. Darren Walker says Wang Wang because you said Spanish and Jamaican. Let's get it. He's Jamaican.
Yes.
So he's Jamaican, so he's definitely feeling that there. And Mitch Race also said, way to uplift, love the mission. And that's the mission of the Pretty Palace in Orlando. Coming back to, the Pretty Palace in Orlando. That's Orlando. So is there something maybe coming in the Tampa Bay area?
Yes. So it will be the Pretty Palace, but it'll be Pretty Palace of Tampa. So again, whether you're skinny, you're curvy, you're bigger, whether you want to be a model or you just want a friend to talk to, we are a sisterhood. We are a sorority. And we are here for you, so you could just go to theprettypalace.com and you can sign up, be a member. You'll end up in our chat room. And if you're Tampa, you'll be under me and I will just, we'll do events together. We'll do we all put our part in. So if you have ideas of what it is that you want to do, you know what I'm saying? We listen to you. We do it as well. It's not I'm the boss. You do what I say. No, it's a system. So
I love that. It's a sisterhood, a community. I love that. And listen, girl, when you have your events, I will be out there supporting all the way, definitely sharing and posting. And that's what I want people to realize, that we have to understand that even just something so small as her saying this, and when she comes back, what I'm going to ask you to do is, when you do have the website and you do have everything, actually, if you can, after this, put it in the comments, the website, right? And when you do start the Tampa one, you can come on here and to this comments and say, hey, we're live in Tampa. And just you guys even just sharing that, right? Like, even if you don't want to be involved as far as like being there or showing up, just sharing it, sending it to somebody in a DM will make such a huge difference. And we appreciate that, right? Because this is something that she's going to grow and be able to body positive, influence young girls and women who need it too, because we all need it. I feel like there's no age discrimination.
No age,
right?
At all.
It's age. From here to here. Okay. Yeah. And Maritza says social media is screwed up for the young, beautiful ladies. Yeah. We have to be examples and always remind them of their beauty and love them and love much they are loved and valued. Yes. And tell them that they are loved and valued. Like my mentor, Darren Walker is actually the one that's commenting on here. He's my mentor. He actually always tells us, like, if you guys had like 1 minute to 5 minutes to have a conversation with somebody who, you can only give them a couple of things and you were never going to be able to talk to them again, right? Like, let's say you were getting ready to go. Like, what would you say? Right. And mine is value to my daughter, right? To let her know how worthy she is and that she is valuable. And that's actually his too, to his family and a lot of the other people. Like, value, just knowing your worth and knowing that you were put here for a purpose, and no matter what may have happened to you, because that doesn't mean just because you're valuable doesn't not mean that you're not broken or you don't have things going on or you didn't go through some things in life. That doesn't mean, that has nothing to do with each other. Right? If that was the case, we'd both be like really messed up, because I know leaving your house at 14, you've been through some things, right?
I have. Yes, I have a lot of things.
Right. Same here. Like, being in gang related neighborhoods at 10 years old, I've been through some things, right? But that does not determine my value and my worth. And so that is the biggest thing. And I say that because, one of the ways that we even connected is because we were having a conversation, and, I'm not going to put her business totally out there, but my daughter was having a problem. She was going to quinceañera. She was fully makeup ready hair, and she put her dress on and she was not feeling how the dress was shaping her. And, she was crying, and to the point where her makeup was getting messed up. And I felt like, wow, like, I'm not here to brag. I mean, I'm here to brag about my daughter all the time. She's beautiful. Like, people used to ask her if she got a BBL because that's the body shape she has, right? But she has a little bit of, tummy area. And so, but I mean, she's tiny, but just that little bit, right? She was crying through her makeup, and I had to really jump in mom mode, like, nah, get it to, like, let's go. There's going to be times where mom's going to coddle you, and there's going to be times where it's going to be so suavecito, but there's going to be other times where it's like, no, let's go. Like, get up. You look beautiful. Let me fix your makeup. Your dress looks great. Like, and just making sure that our girls know how valued they are, whether they're 330 pounds, 400 pounds, 100 pounds, 120 pounds, thin, skick, big boobs, no boobs. Like, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
None of it matters. Let me ask you this. Like, what is it that does matter?
Just loving yourself, God, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't love yourself, I want to say God, but not a lot of people believing in God, which that's fine, but whatever thing you believe in, just know at the end of the day, you got to love yourself. Your body is just a body. You're not going wherever you go. You're not going with your body. It's going to stay. So just be happy and live your life the best way that you can.
Amen, sis. Amen. Live, be happy, and live the best way that you can. Now, we're running close on time, but I did want to ask you this because I feel like it's important. So we talk about what to do. Let's get them some action steps. Like, do you do any personal development? Do you grow in any way? Do you read? Do you write? I heard you say something about journal, things that you were doing. So do you do any of that?
I do a lot of that, actually, because I'm 35 in college, so that's not personal development. I don't know what it is.
I love it. Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations.
But yeah, I also do journaling. A lot of times there's things that go through your head, because I know as a woman, I'm in here a lot. So I don't want to talk to my husband about it because I don't want him stressing out, or I might not want to, like, my friend is pregnant. Like, I don't want to go bother you and you're happy and pregnant, So right. I do journal.
Right there.
Right here. And whatever it is that I just need to release, I just release it on paper, and it actually helps a lot.
That's so good. I'm so glad that you said that, like, and that you have it right there, because it's such a big deal. But my main thing is, she said, I do it all the time, right? It's a constant battle because the doubts are going to creep in, and the old stuff is going to, especially if you've been conditioned for a long time to believe that you're just this broken nobody who's not worthy or valuable.
Tell you, feeling like that broken nobody as a business owner, it is so hard. The number one thing that always comes back to me is feeling fake. I feel like the success I have, I'm not the one who did it. I feel like I've been lying to everybody, but I learned from another seminar that happens. It's called the CEO imposter syndrome.
Yep, I was ready. I was waiting for you to come out with it because I knew that's what you were gonna say. It's exactly. So real. It's happened to me, girl. Even me, it's happened to me. Okay, so I feel you.
Yes, and when that happens, and I don't think, like, somebody told me that she's in Channel 8 News. She said that doesn't go nowhere. That doesn't go nowhere. You just gotta do it, prioritize, and figure it out, and keep going. So wherever you at in life, just remember, yes, it's going to be a struggle, anything you're doing, but you just got to keep moving forward.
Right. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And Michaela says, sometimes it's embarrassing to admit feeling shame and insecurity. I want to start journaling again. This is your sign, girl. This is your sign to start. She had it on her lap. Okay. So that's the sign that it is time to start journaling again. It's time to write some things down. It's time to start healing. Go ahead.
Go on Amazon and get this one. All right. This one right here is actually my journal, and it's called the Daily Journal and Affirmation. And I made this.
Oh, that's yours? I didn't know how to post it on here.
And I made it. It has weekly affirmations. It has, if you want, like, your to do, your gratitude journal, your weekly plan. But then it also has a section where, you could just journal, and you could just do a weekly thing. And it's just...
What's the name of it again?
It's called The Daily Journal and Affirmation by Queen Ducky.
The Daily Journal and I'm going to put it in here so people can screenshot it and have it. Affirmation by Queen Ducky?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Yes, want to make sure that you guys got it. The Daily Journal and Affirmation by Queen Ducky, right?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
screenshot that. You can go on Amazon. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you put Queen Ducky in Amazon, there's not a lot of things for this.
Right.
You'll probably find it quick.
You'll find 2 books on there. That's it. So
Oh, see, that's good. And that's that SEO, right? That's why it's got to be that SEO. For you guys who don't know that, that's like a business term. If you want to know more about that, we got you. Let us know. We'll hook you up. But that SEO is important. It's funny because I almost didn't use my name because it's not SEO, right? But I'm like, it's only one me. I'm Idylli. It is what it is. God is going to provide. He's going to open that door anyway. So I'm not worried about it. But I did. I almost like, I don't know. But thank you so much. This has been so great. I mean, so much support in the comments. We thank you. Can you share the link, sis? She will. She will add the link to the comments once we're done. She'll come back up, add the links to that. I have the links to the pretty palace.
Yes.
I think Michaela, I think that would be great for you too. Look up the Pretty Palace, and definitely hit her up on the DM. Like, hit her up on the DM here. She'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. Is that right?
Exactly. Anybody that wants to just roll in my DM and say hi, come on over. If you have any questions, or you want to know more about the Pretty Palace, or want to find my journal, or anything, I'm an open book and I'm here to help.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you have helped. Like, you have no idea. Besides Michaela, I know this is going to reach hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, and you have helped so much. Your story is incredible. I pray blessings over your life, over your journey, over your businesses, over your growth, over your belly. And you know what belly part I'm talking about. And so again, this will not be the last that you hear. Will be a collaboration. And when you start to do your thing, we'll definitely come back and see how that's going. But that's it for tonight, mi gente. That is the show. Let me make sure I didn't miss something on Instagram, because I got to flip back and forth the way it's recorded. Sadly, Instagram, if you didn't catch it live, you probably won't catch it. I love you guys so much, but Instagram does not allow me to keep it unless it's a mess, right? And so I hope you caught it live. But thank you guys again. Thank you again. And did you want to say any last words? Anything?
I just want to say thank you to you and everybody that's watching. And again, I love you all. I'm here for you guys if you have any questions or anything like that. And just love yourself. All right. Don't let nobody tear you down. All right. If you don't love yourself, ain't nobody else gonna do it.
Amen.
All right.
Amen. Yeah. And in the meantime, if you don't love yourself, let us love you until you love yourself. Like, we got you.
We'll pour it into you.
Exactly. We'll pour it into you. We got your back. Okay. We'll pour it into you. Thank you so much. That is another the Speak Easy with Idylli show. We have another amazing guest coming up next week, but tonight's show was just something special. And I'm so, again, thankful for that. And if you're watching on the replay, please don't forget to let us know. Don't forget to hit her, Queen Ducey up. Sorry. I want to make sure. And actually, I don't even know if I put that out, your Instagram name on here. That is how you can find her on Instagram. I didn't say where people can find you. You can find her in my comments for sure.
Yeah.
But here is her Instagram, where you can find her and you can DM her at any time. And thank you again, you guys. Mi gente, good night. Let's go.